Hello again, my Back to the Future fans. Once again, we're here to talk about Back to the Future. Yes, 88 miles an hour. That's what my mind is doing right now. And a lot of people they watch the movies, you come up with questions, and you see tons of YouTube videos on multiple subjects, even things I never thought about. But in this time being, third month, 29th day of 2020, coronavirus, quarantine, got a lot on my mind and a lot of time. So here we are again with some of my questions. My number one question I ask myself: what's up with the smoke inside the truck when you first get to see the DeLorean? I mean, it's crazy. It's like, you look at that and it's a cool special effect, but then on the end, it's like, why is that in there? And it's not the exhaust from the car. Because when Doc backs up and he opens up the door, all that smoke's coming out. So it's like, did Doc just keep the car in park, get that baby up to 88 miles an hour, and just do a little time jolt there? I mean, I think this is just one of those crazy things that will never have a true answer. It's just like a lot of people I know that actually own a DeLorean point out their biggest pet peeve is Doc must have just had issues, or let me phrase it. The biggest issue that a lot of people I know that have DeLoreans say that there's no way that Doc could be in that truck and be able to get out because the way the doors opens up, there's just no way. But I always just wondered, what's up with the smoke inside there? And even further, it's like, that thing had all that smoke inside, so that's kind of scary knowing Doc was in there. I know all the druggies out there, he was smoking a bong. I don't think he was smoking a bong. But anyway, on to my other questions. Let's see, what question should we ask next? Another smoke-related question. You only noticed whenever Einstein does his time travel scene. Sorry, my phone's going off there. You notice that when Einstein does his time travel scene, that the car on the rear smoke comes off. That's the only time you ever see that. You don't believe me? Go watch every time travel scene with the DeLorean, and including the train, and you will see that there's no smoke coming out the back jet things there, whatever they are, the vents. But it's one of those other mysteries. Now let's see. Now here's something for you to think about. 1955, where Doc is, and he time traveled back at one point, to 1885. So if he stayed in the past, we know that at some point he builds a time train and he time traveling, but that's only 70 years from 1885 to 1955. So if he and his children stayed in the past, his kids could have been old enough to see young Doc in 1955. And I think the movie said that his family came from Germany in 1907. So, I mean, technically, if his children were around and if they had kids, his kids and grandkids could have seen him, even interacted with a young Doc, young Emmett. So, I mean, they never discussed that. We don't know where Doc went after that whole train time travel scene, but that's just one of those things like, I wonder. Let's see, what else am I going to ask you today? Or discuss. Well, my question was the time train that Doc had, was it a train that got converted into the time machine, or did he use his resources to build a train from the bottom up? This was never answered at all. Now let's see what else. Oh, yes, and either way, if it was a brand new train or an old train converted, those things weigh over 5,000 tons. So my question is, did he pay a huge workforce to help him work on this? Because that's a lot of heavy lifting to be doing, and I just don't see him and Clara being able to do all that on their own. And it's like, I'm assuming too, you see the train fly, you know for a fact that he saved Clara with the hoverboard, so obviously he did some reverse engineering to get the time flying stuff off that. The flying capability, I think, to work on the train. At least that's my theory. Even though he did have the flying stuff on the car, but did he also make like a Mr. Fusion, or did he use his knowledge and know how to get plutonium to be able to create the 120 gigawatts that he needed to time travel? I mean, these are just little bitty elements that I wonder. And I'd like to know your opinion as Back to the Future fans. Let me know, and as always, stay healthy during all this craziness, and we'll see you in the future.